he's working. Now let's see it's on the other end. It looks like everything's working properly. Good.
Excellent.
It's clean. It's awake. It's alive. Maximo
kill it.
does it again, fixing things. Now, time to send a Vox signal to other people to see what happens.
Alright, and while Maximo is doing that, I'm gonna go around the table introducing people. Starting with Docs 404.
Hello. This is Docs 404, being played by Dr. Lulumu. Howdy.
Hello. Care to roll your objective for the day and tell me if you would like to exchange your card?
Yeah, I think I'll keep the card for right now. And roll for my objective.
Alright. And you may feel free to draw 2 wrath points.
Got a 1. Complete a
And what-
social interaction without revealing your identity.
Fair enough.
I think that kind of sounds self-evident.
Essentially, since Lex Mechanics have the Inquisition faction, this means without Paul finding out you're a member of the Inquisition.
Alright, let's go.
I suppose.
What's Tintin doing here?
There's something the matter.
No. There's just a random wrath point that appeared on the map.
Oh,
Gotta get one.
you could say that could be wrathful.
Yes. Well, while we sort that out,
Well, I
dogs
can
feel free to
remove it.
grab your wrath points. And
Oh, there we go.
meanwhile, let's move over to Muldoon, the Psyker.
Hello, I'm curious about who's playing the fire-loving, short-headed, of course, short-tempered psyker, and it's happy to be here like usual.
Alright,
I would like to change my card and objective 6.
Can you put your card on the board first?
Of course.
Alright, feel
There
free
we
to.
go.
Oh.
Sorry.
There we go.
Phil, the tiers of Issa. All protagonists may ignore up to tier plus ADM penalties until the end of this round for any and all actions. Alright. Feel free to draw a card and 2 wrath points. And what's your objective for the day?
Praise another individual for psychic potential. Huh. That's going to be an interesting one.
Alright, another Psyker.
Mhm.
Pimp my Psyker. Alright.
Just wait till I pull out my massive psyker. Wait, what?
Lucas. Fighter.
Oh,
The Krigsman.
yes. Greetings. This is Art of War. Playing the ever lovable Krieger, Lucas, and yes, I'm going to exchange my card because I don't think we need the hell that this is gonna bring us.
Ooh,
Come on, why not? Why not enemies without?
No,
that would have been fun.
I
have
don't
some-
need headaches, like
Oh.
at all.
That's why we have Muldoon around.
One's good enough as it is.
Oh, come on.
And as for my roll, I got 2. Apply a lesson from the Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer to the current situation.
Alright.
Where's the section on dealing with criminals? Oh yes, put a bolt around through their brain.
I guess.
I don't know where you'll find the bolt around, but is Maximo
Well-
ready?
Oh, yes, Maximo is ready. Let me get my little script here from this screen fellow. Well, you miserable guts, bull guts here in another episode of Hellfighters. What? Oh, yeah, I'm Big Mek Plays, who plays as Maximo. An ogre warrior. You can also check out my content on X, of course, as Big Mek Plays, and head over to my Twitch every once in a while to find me doing my Odd Boys campaign, a campaign full of orcs. It's quite hilarious and fun. Go give it a go.
Full of all sorts of weird things of orcs.
Oh yeah, it's very odd for the boys. Let's just say they made a human eat his own guts. You didn't even realised it yet. And
I mean,
that was
hey, I guess
funny.
we've all been there, right?
Oh yeah. Also, one of my weird boys decided to go set some tanks on fire for whatever random reason because he didn't like them because they weren't on fire enough. Anyways, yeah. I'll
So-
get myself all set up proper. Here you go, and number 6.
Very good.
Charged enemies of the Imperium, which means, well, I'm gonna have to charge someone.
Indeed you will. However,
will.
would you like
I
to
hope
exchange
they
your
can-
card?
Oh, I'm keeping it because it's fun. It's a save
Oh.
for a really good one.
Oh no. Oh no.
I also like Art of War's card. It's gonna be very
Yeah.
fun to use it.
Why did I have to get this of all things?
You know it would be very useful in the current situation if
I
played
know.
if played correctly. However, you're gonna risk it all for that one.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
funny, this
I
card that
don't.
feels like this one that I used for Sunday, maybe. Last Sunday.
Considering I'm already on the cusp of something bad on my character sheet, no, I don't want this.
But it could be useful.
yeah.
Anyways, point being that today is another day for Hellfighters. And I will be your host once again, the storyteller known as Sir_Reaper. You can find me in most places as Sir_Reaper. And I'm not doing much right now as far as online activities go. But I'm working on a lot of things in the background, this campaign being one such thing. And while we're at it, who would like to give us a narration of what happened last time? Okay, one at a time, please.
Sorry, I was doing some tech things.
Alright.
I believe I forget where we started, of course, because it's been a long time.
We had just finished with
Oh, it was a
With our,
time skip. That was why I didn't
yeah.
remember anything.
we had a brief time skip after our mission after our brief interaction with overseeing a meeting between some drug producers and him.
Our target of interest, yes. I think over a illegal substance known as spook that could,
Yes.
in higher doses, cause psychic activities. Yes. Muldoon
Yeah.
is a
It-
good expert in psychic activities, right?
Even in low dose, it can result in psychic activities.
Yep.
Well,
In high doses, we're gonna probably end up with some chaos spawns.
Yes. Well, after that successful info gathering, we had a brief rest
talk with-
period.
and talk with Ereline soon after with a meeting to discuss acquisitions and mission details. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
We had 2 options in mind to gather info on where the target on where to find the spook factory. Pretty much the only viable option was actually speaking to the underworld gangers. Emperor punished me for having to resort to this because this is embarrassing. Why
Come
must
on,
we
they're
talk-
emperor-loving individuals like the rest of us.
Debatable.
Well, everyone serves the great golden mustache in their own way.
Yes. But in order to talk with one of these gangers, we needed an information broker is the best way to put it with this individual. Someone who would know how to get in touch with them to set up said meeting.
And luckily enough, we know a local diplomat or noble person who could help set us up.
Yes.
A rare form of wizard called a diplomancer.
They're terribly horrible when they start casting fist. It doesn't work.
Yes. They should be an ogren like you, Maximo. Then fist wouldn't be that hard to cast.
What do you mean? I don't know how to do magic. You should ask Muldoon.
It is not magic, you know that.
Oh,
Does Muldoon know how to cast fist?
Of course.
That would be an experience to find out. And just Muldoon actually cast fist one day just out of irritation and just punch someone.
There are multiple fire fists too, so.
I see he's been watching checking notes, the anime quite a bit. No
Just
idea what it
because
is.
you mean the Imperial Section Mechanicus animes? Yeah.
Yes.
They're
Yes,
full
we-
of weird people. I'm sorry, docs, but it's weird. I don't understand.
Just because I charge up a laser and just shoot it at people, and I have multiple thingies stabbing at other people's, it's not anime.
Alright, Son Gukong. So you went to find your little information brochure, the marquee.
Mm-hmm.
And if I recall
Yes.
correctly, where exactly did he send you?
I think to a strange waiting room first.
It's called the
Yeah.
bar.
Yes. We had to
Well.
go to a bar We had to go to a bar. But in order to
Oh,
meet this individual,
On
we had
Vestoria,
a...
they're known as taverns, but yeah.
Yes. We had to wait patiently for our turn to speak with the individual.
I was quite saddened that Brick even forgot me until I had to show him the flecks of my mustache. Then he remembered and said, "Mustache bros never forget each other."
Well, that and you are also disguised.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but yes.
And we even acquired a high enough quality MSEC too.
Oh yes, Maximo does have a hat. A MILF hat. Man, I like frogs. I don't know what a frog is.
Those things you fought on Castle Rex, remember? The
Oh,
giant
those
things with the big
things.
tongues. Yeah.
Yeah, with 3 eyes, 3 tongues, and all that. The one that,
Yeah.
that wolf guy, or no, Harlock. Was it Hamlock? Hamface was missing a lot.
Locke. His name was Locke.
I guess he locked on the wrong targets.
Oh. God.
But that was another
And-
time.
And you guys also managed to put a little espionage device on the local network.
Oh yes, that Doc's got in trouble for. Oops.
Did I get in trouble?
Well, the cop did stop you.
I still completed my mission.
He fought the law, and the law lost.
Because he knew legal code, right? Because he speaks in code, yes?
Please no.
You could say
I don't
it was
understand any of
encoded.
that gibberish.
Oh.
It's Matsumo going off again. Just let him. He'll get back around eventually. Just give him 2 years.
So, you were told to meet with one of the gangs. Who can tell me what type of gang you were told to meet?
There was options, yes.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
but
wanna
there
continue
was
the choke
specific
me?
one that you kind of narrowed down. That would be your target.
Yes, the ones who like to inhale promethium fumes because it makes them feel weird. They, I believe, hold themselves in a local fuel depot that's heavily contested. Yes?
Yes, but also those gangs are also primarily known for manufacturing the fuel, not just having it.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
why
no,
I
no,
said
no.
fuel
You're getting
depot.
it wrong. Of course, they are known from using it, not to just making it for cars. No, that would be silly. We're talking about the game.
Yes, I think sometimes employees like to enjoy their production.
Indeed. And one last thing. Did something happen right at the end there, or am I remembering incorrectly?
Ah, yes. As we were leaving, Matsimo saying goodbye to Bruce. We heard a thump, a fairly loud thump.
Well, they did. You were in the car.
Yes, they did. I was merely playing solitaire, guarding the car.
Oh yes, Lucas was piling up parking ticket violations on his vehicle, yes.
Who's Bruce?
I
Wait.
believe it was the mercenary who tried to ask questions, and since we answered so vaguely, he got tired and left.
No,
Perhaps.
he meant the break, the one you were saying.
Yeah,
the
Brick.
ogre you were. Yeah.
Brick. I get him confused with Bruce. I don't know
As for
why.
the bounty hunter who came up to you, he got freaked out because of Doc staring him in the eyes.
Yes. But yes, they heard a loud thump as if something fell over quite loudly, and yeah, and then we drove off. That's about it.
Alright. Without further ado, I think it's a good point to continue our adventure. And yes, we're calling it an adventure now.
We're going on our trip, on our favorite Torotvi trip. To the
As one green giant once says, we go on an adventure. And his brother says, oh no.
Indeed. Now, the three of you return to the vehicle, where you find Lucas playing solitaire on his data slate. And as you're all piling in, you may feel free to explain to your fellow agent what you have learned.
Alright, this is back at Airlane's, the headquarters, right?
No, this inside
Oh,
the
we're
vehicle
picking
that
the
was
truck.
parked outside.
Yeah.
Well, Maximo will be in the back compartment, so he'll be too exposed to communicate with you safely.
Yep.
Well, you haven't. I don't assume you start immediately.
Yeah, I imagine I start drive. Well, first let me just start drive. We drive off a little ways, and then we can start talking.
Maximo will tap on the window and hope the back window rolls down a bit so he can actually speak. Don't get us lost again, Lucas.
So long as you have the accurate directions to where I'm going, we won't get lost. Again.
Maximo will look at Docs and just, Docs, are you still in good health? I hope the gases inside there did not help make things worse for you.
I don't have to worry about that. My
Last time you had
debriefing system's
errors.
still active. Yes, I had errors of recognizing where to go, but I should be able to assist it better this time, hopefully.
All right.
If parameters were acknowledged.
So, quick thing. Are you just gonna use exposition spell on Lucas?
I think it'll be funny that we do.
Okay, so basically we can assume that you drive a little bit off, and on the way there you guys explain everything you learned to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so basically what Lucas would know is the Marquis is going to set you up for a meeting with a local gang. They have made their basically they are living in a fuel depot not far from here, and they could be able to tell you where the den is if your assumptions of them being the type of gang to know are correct.
I imagine Dox is just playing this whole conversation, what happened, because of course he's going to record everything. Like, like an audiobook. And because he's just driving around while listening to Dox.
Opens up his chest, puts in a tape recorder, presses play. I just
you
start
have to
hearing
ask permission
everything.
first before you could start playing with the tech priest's chest.
As funny as it would be, no Docs 404 is not Soundwave.
Aww.
Yes.
That'd be glorious.
Disappointment.
I don't think you can
Yes.
get this tech priest on tape.
So, with that in mind, you guys also have placed the comlits and retrieved the bottle of Amasek.
Yep.
So, would you like to go straight to the gang? Would you like to return to Arling? Would you like to explore other routes of how to find information about the den?
We might need to bring some type of tribute or some type of way to appease them to make sure they don't become instantly hostile.
Yes.
So, should we get some extra Promethium just in case? Maybe get the premium quality because they can't have it? Fuel grade
Yeah,
99 instead of 89.
Checking in with Ireland is not a bad idea,
Indeed.
She
Keep
has
her
greater knowledge
updated.
about local customs, I think. Yes?
We just talked with the Marquis, who gave us the information about the local gangs and such, but probably having an update on our situations to Arlene might be beneficial.
Hmm. She might gain more information due to other channels.
Possibly.
Who's going to call the boss?
As I'm driving, it would not be it would be against regulations to talk
At this
while driving.
point,
Hands free.
at this point, you could all hear a voice say inside your vox beads, I would be eager to remind you that our communications while within the city are perfectly clear and I can hear what you're saying.
I didn't know the channel was open. Bad
Right,
Fox
who forgot to
protocol.
turn off the channel?
No wonder
As
why
you're-
I hear voices.
As your interrogator, it is my duty to keep an ear on you at all times.
Oh. I see. Well, you heard what we heard, right? Yes, boss?
Of course. I also heard your conversation with the Marquis.
He might be dead, depending. Did hear a thump in his chambers when we left. So, we may have to check on him later.
I will send somebody to do that for us. Seems like a menial enough task.
Hmm.
However,
Yes.
if you are to converse with this gang of his, it might be prudent to hear some information first.
All right.
Yes, Commander.
One moment for me to change the music. I feel this a bit too.
Intense?
Yes. Alright, this should be fine. Hold on. Now this is a bit too quiet.
You can always increase the volume. It should do it.
I did,
Good.
and it didn't help much.
Oh. Hmm.
This is fine. So, you're basically at a starling speed, not too fast, going through the streets of the town now.
We're
As
trying to
Arlington.
stay within the speed limit.
Looks like the gang he was sending you to is called the Boiler Band.
Hmm.
Apparently, they have recently gotten charge of the locale, he informed you. A fueling depot. Seems like their gang specializes in this sort of environments. If they're truly as intrinsic in their knowledge of chems as the Marquis would have us believe, I'm willing to bet that they might know of the den, or of somebody who would know. And though not much information is made public about such affairs, it appears their current, well, leader of sorts is some guy named Gashaf Sif.
That sounds like a hard name to say.
I bet. I do not know if we should trust these types of individuals, but if the Marquis vouches for them, the least we can do is put some fair effort. If
Well,
our engagements in the past are anything to show, I doubt Ganjas are going to be much of a problem should they decide to act against. Remember to keep the identity of our organization a secret and to act quickly. Time is of the essence.
Yes. Administratum workers. Or was it?
I will also inform you that some of our cogs here have already been managing to accumulate data of the comlits and creating a stable transfer out to the Spear of Xerxes.
Any news?
No, but I'm certain Harris Lambda will be glad to hear that.
Good.
Not that you will be able to tell, but I'm sure he will have a response waiting for you when you're back.
Wouldn't want to disappoint.
I wouldn't want to meet him, but I would want to be near him in the foreseeable future, but to each their own.
Only Emperor willing. The great golden mustache.
We are just going to send dogs. That's the easy way.
Ah, yes. Send in the jump scare bomb.
Yeah, send dogs to talk with the centipede man.
Yes, you like it.
Yes.
Why does everyone have
Maximo
problems with him?
remembers, and Maximo fears him. I do not like big worm centipede thing. It scares me. It reminds me of a movie of humans tied together. It was traumatic.
Please don't ever bring up that movie again. I remember a guardsman bringing that in and thinking it would be a good time. We proceeded to then what's the word? Oh yes, beat him senseless for that atrocious manner.
I believe we
I
need to get
think
back
he was
on
from
topic.
Tadia, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, but boss has more information.
Agents, may I ask of you to refrain from discussing matters of the past when we have pressing matters in the present?
Very well.
So, what is it? Have you learned anything about these boiler boys? Boiler band. Sorry.
As said, not much information is made public about such people, but you can rely on your instincts. I'm sure this won't be the first time you're dealing with gangers.
Hmm. All right. I think we can handle it. If not, well, you have it in your reports. All right. Maximo will be right back. He'll be busy in the background for a bit.
Alright, so to cut a long story short, I assume you will all try to make way to the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Alright, in that case, Lucas, you know what I'm gonna ask.
Oh boy. Here we go. Rolling.
Can I give assistance with him?
All
Well,
right.
basically, as long as he doesn't roll a complication, you should be fine.
Maximo has returned.
Oh.
Have the abilities statistical certainty or something?
Ooh.
Can't speak.
I mean, it's survival, so I should be okay, but
It's pilot.
I was close.
I do not have
Alright,
any
let's
skills
just-
in pilot to help. And
What's
also,
your
I'm in the back of
pilot?
the vehicle.
In total, it's 8.
Not you. Dogs.
2.
Alright. Your pilot is 2.
Yeah.
And your ability says what exactly?
I'll just copy it right over there. The assistance you provide allies comes with the benefit of extracting mathematical analysis to remove all possibilities. When you help an ally, you may help reduce the amount of bonus dice you provide by an amount equal up to your rank. For every die you remove, your ally gains an extra icon on their test result.
Okay, so instead of giving him 2 dice, he just gets +2 icons in the final result.
Yeah.
So Art, you don't add anything, just roll your pilot and we add 2 to the result basically.
Okay, I've clicked the button twice, and it's Roll20's being slow again.
Or the machine has broken and I have to go
Is
fix it.
the API working? Yeah, that's...
Maximo will
that
be
may be the
there to
issue.
fix it. Let he see. He goes. Open up the panel.
Alright. In the meantime, feel free to discuss as you are driving through the city.
Alright, here we go. Restart the system. Here we go.
do have a question above table. Did he actually tell us where to go to meet the group?
Yeah, he basically showed you, I think, on your data slate.
All right, try
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah, now I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it goes.
Alright, so it's a 4 total. So you managed to arrive at the destination. But by all means, feel free to discuss anything you wish to talk about on the way there, if there's anything you wish to talk about.
About this gang, the Boiler Band. Did he happen to mention anything in particular note we need to be wary of with them?
Don't call them Prometheum offers. They take offense to that.
Well, that's kind of given.
The
Keep your
chemical
trigger
of the
fingers.
Prometheum may cause some light deliriousness and dizziness, of course, due to, well, the concentration. So do be careful breathing it in. You might be affected by its contents.
I have a gas mask on, so I should be fine.
You should be fine, but the rest of us, well, at least in Muldoon, please refrain from using your fire. We don't want to have an accident.
Fine.
One spark blows up the whole factory. God damn it, Muldoon.
That will be an event most profound, and the Hellfighters will be fighting in hell. Quite literally.
Oh, and the gangs is because they are using these drugs, they are kind of jumpy. So, trigger fingers off.
They are proficient of using flamer technology, so be careful. They love their burners.
So keep calm, no sudden movements, keep a low profile.
No jump scares.
Wait, they can't. If they can use fire, why can't I?
Your fire is
not
more
fair.
explosive.
No,
the
it's
fact-
not.
We're literally going to a building that has a load of promethium. I don't think anyone wants to light a fire in that place.
Well,
I don't
the
see
thing
any
is,
problem with
if
it.
they see Muldoon casting fire, they might have different results than using a flamethrower, yes? Because, well, psychers are kind of bad. Right?
How?
Oh,
Saying that. Oh,
It's no
and
offense,
even from
Muldoon.
you.
You know well that some humans don't like witches.
Oh, I know that, don't
I'm just stating a point of view that they be a little jumpy, and if you start using your psychic might, things may not go well.
I only go second, don't worry. If they start after they start shooting us or try to light us on fire, then I may use my powers.
I think music player has stopped on our end.
I can still
Oh,
hear
no.
on mine.
No,
Yeah,
can still
okay.
hear it.
No,
Not
the
on
box
my
radio
end.
is still working.
I think your headphones are slightly glitching, considering the dogs.
No, I think it's just Roll20 acting up again.
Yeah, it's
Let me
Roll20.
close browser and see if I can fix it. I'll be right back, but continue on. I can still hear you. And recording will be fine.
Alright, so as you all continue your way to the facility, you stop your Munitorum track outside, and I assume you all disembark.
Mhm.
Yes. I will be joining them this time, but
we
making
go.
sure our truck is not gonna be taken. Can't trust no one down here.
Yeah, it's not the best part of town, this area. It's mostly a water cloister. Uh,
Is the steering wheel removable from the truck?
I
you
wish.
don't have to worry about that.
Because without the steering wheel, they won't be able to drive or turn it.
And as you all stand outside the facility, having parked your truck around the corner, you see a bunch of people stationed outside. There's a handful of them outside the main door where you see vehicles going in and out. And there's also a few up on some of the like upper areas of the building, like catwalks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking down, and they all seem to be having some shoddy autoguns, probably second hand.
So you could say it's like a standard manufactorum location, but with more
Yeah.
armed guards.
I mean, all of you can make me a scholar test. This wouldn't be too hard to know, but all of you can make me a scholar test.
Ooh, Maximo
Alright.
gets to use his brain.
Hmm.
Alright.
Alright.
Scholar test. I have a 3 in it. Let's see what happens. I rolled a 2 in a complication. They look friendly.
Oh my
Alright,
glory.
Muldoon with the glory.
Muldoon,
That's a
you're
glory
cheating
for the
again.
board.
Stop it.
Alright, to explain something simple that everybody except Lucas would know. I mean, it makes sense. You come from a death world.
Pretty much.
You don't really have overpopulation problems there.
Our population's scattered across the galaxy fighting wars.
Yes. Maximo, Muldoon, and Dox, however, having been in manufactorums and hive cities and all that, you would know that there is a point where local enforcement, planetary, system wide, or whatever level you wish to divulge into, is simply not enough.
Mm.
Like, you can't have enough guards and enforcers in an area to completely make sure everything runs as it should be. So it is common custom for a lot of planetary governors and highborns to just leave certain areas to gangs and other lowly individuals to take their protection in their own hands in exchange for the enforcers also understanding that this is a domain that they can normally just barge into and do whatever they want. Not unless they have a reason. Grant this being the Imperium, such reasons are easily found, should the people in command wish to find them.
So you're saying they have rights?
I'm saying they have a domain which they can control, and that gives them power here. In exchange for having that power, they keep that domain operating as it should.
Mm.
And the only time higher forces really step in is when things start going a bit haywire. Say cults or gene stealers, things like that. If two Ganger gangs open a war against each other and like 500 people die, that's nothing for the Imperium for a day. Those numbers will be immediately supplemented and restored in no time.
Mm.
So it's best to just leave them sort their own stuff down here. It's not exactly an underhive, but you know, it's
It's gang
ba-
territory.
yeah. Yeah. So basically, it's best to just leave them do their own thing here than to spend their resources in trying to contain these areas.
Mm.
With that said, you approach closer to the door, I assume, the four of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, are any of you armed?
Well,
No.
I don't think Maximo is capable of using his heavy bolter in such a location, so it stays. But Maximo will keep his bayonet on his hip just in case. So Maximo
And
can
he
still
has
have
his
that.
arms too. Those are little
I think the only
weapons.
thing I got is a last pistol, but I never use it.
Well, yeah, pistols can be easily concealed, so you can carry those around. But anything that's like two-handed, let's say, you cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maximo will unsecure his bayonet off his ripper gun and just take the knife and just have it in his belt loop.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be his little combat tool just in case he has to fight. But his ripper gun and heavy bolter will stay in the truck in the special storage container toolbox.
All right. And I assume Lucas and Dogs have their last pistols stacked away.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right, so you step up to the door. Well, to basically the vehicle entrance. And as the four of you step up, one of the gangers that you see him stop, you notice something particular about their appearance. They all seem to have like essentially Prometheum war paint on their faces.
So you're saying oil paint?
Yes. Where each of them draw like different symbols. Some have like lines, others have like little marks under their eyes and stuff like that. All of them appear to have those. They all have, industrial breathers because you kind of need them for areas like this.
Is there a chance can I find one that has a weird but obscene drawing on its face for some reason that he never realized?
Um, sure.
Basically, I'm trying to find one with a weird crew drawing as a prank, just like a tic-tac-toe board on his forehead, because his friends. It's totally legit. It makes you a high class member, and it just is this tic-tac-toe on his forehead, and you can never see it.
Yeah, we can say that somebody on the like catwalks has a tic-tac-toe on his forehead.
Hmm. So they are. Hmm. They're not playing
Yeah.
around.
Lots of them are wearing goggles because also, you need to protect your eyes from all the fumes. And they appear to all be wearing boiler suits with big boots and gloves. And they have like these makeshift armors which appear like basically they cut a promethium barrel in half and then they strapped it around themselves like a
So
breastplate.
they have crude armor.
Yeah, crude metallic armor. And the last guns, not the last guns, the auto guns they are carrying are like, auto guns, auto pistols, and they don't appear to be well maintained or well
Typical contraband.
manufactured. And not contraband, but you can tell this is like the stuff that probably like are not good, are substandard quality, so we just throw it at the gangs.
Hmm.
And as you approach, one of them raises a hand and goes, "Stop right there!"
Hmm.
Sorry, stop right there.
Maximo will grunt through his rebreather.
They all turn to look at you and ready their guns, and some of them are like a bit twitchy.
Maximo will hold up his hands in a non-threatening gesture and just.
What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Getting a river and just calmly standing there.
All right. Um, Dogs.
Mm, I feel like I should have stayed at the car because what do I do? I'll probably creep some of these fuckers out, these guys out. No, just stand passively and try not to spook them too much.
Uh-huh. And is Lucas back?
Yes.
Oh, there he is. So basically, to explain to you in case you weren't listening, you stand in front of the door. There are some people like with curved armor and weapons standing there, and one of them basically told you to stop right there, and the others just immediately turned around, like aimed at you. Some of them appeared a bit twitchy. And you have live weapons pointed at you guys. Maximo has raised his hands, and so have the other three, and I assume that so does Lucas.
Correct. We are not trying to be aggressors here.
He turns to the four of you and goes, This here is gang territory. Explain your business.
Well, we are sent by the Marquis to talk to a really nice fellow called Guesthoff Chief. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I usually not really good with names.
You stay right there. And when you,
Understood.
yeah. Boys, keep an eye on him. He turns back to one of the other gangers. They appear to be they have a slimmer frame, either a younger man or a woman, and they just tell them something over the shoulder. You can roll me awareness if you wish to understand what these dogs. You don't need to roll.
Ooh,
Okay.
Maximo will
I
try
would
because he's trying to be
like
aware of the
to.
situations, trying to be actively perceptive.
DN3.
Hey, Maximo with the 4 in the glory.
Oh.
Maximo's
Damn.
aware.
A lot of glories tonight.
Maximo's
Alright.
big ears.
Would Lucas also like to roll for another glory?
Oh
glory.
boy,
One more glory.
awareness. Something I'm okay on?
No,
Aw,
No.
break the
Okay.
spell.
no jackpot. Damn it.
However, Muldoon did not pass the check,
I know.
so we're only getting one glory out of this.
Yeah.
Maximo and Dox, however, you both overhear him go inside and ask Sif if we should let them in. They're apparently here to see him. Sent by the Marquis of all people. And the slimmer Ganger nods. And then as soon as they are out of frame, he just turns and points his gun at you again, just staring at you.
Mm.
You can tell these guys are nervous. And the while passes. Like definitely a handful of minutes pass that you're standing there. Would you
Maximo
like
will
to
look.
make a move or just wait?
Maximo will
So-
look towards Lucas and just tap him on the shoulder and tap his wrist.
Would leadership could calm down the situations a little bit so they are not nervous as much?
Depends on how you use it.
Well, just calmly chatting with them, making some small talk, making them less nervous, talking about the nice weather.
That sounds like persuasion to me.
Mhm.
All right, persuasion it is.
Do it.
Yeah.
As you will understand, Maximo's trying to be quiet this part and just be
Ugh,
grunting.
not my best stats, but
He's trying to pretend
Well,
to be a typical ogre.
before you roll anything, make your pitch. What is that you tell them trying to open up the small talk?
well, really nice facility you have there. I heard fuel is really on the brighter side when they are used by these new structures. What you are operating now. It is fascinating what some people could just achieve it. People could just achieve by just doing it by the book.
Roll me persuasion.
Question mark?
I would assume there's something
Five
about
with the glory?
a 5 in the glory. I guess that kind of works. It looks like it.
Don't get me wrong, 5 with a glory is a high roll. However, without beats, I will say it's not enough to make them stop pointing guns at you.
No. I just want to cool down the whole situation a little bit.
If
You said-
anything, after all that you said, like, you know, this nice facility and you guys doing it by the book, they're more confused as to, like, how wrong you are right now. Like, this is not a new facility and these guys are definitely not by the book.
I would have thought you'd probably say it's something about the quality of fuel and just, I hear it's the best. Why don't you boast about it? Type deal.
Just take the compliment.
We'll figure it out.
So, as you are waiting there, with guns pointing at you, at some point the slimmer figure steps out again and says, "Alright, Gaskav says you can head upstairs, follow me."
Mm. And Maximo will follow along and trying to not bump into anyone or anything by using his inviolable grace skill.
So, as you step inside and you walk through the facility, some of the first things you notice, like all the people working here, operating the machineries and all of that. And you know, there's a lot of people working, there's a lot of people overseeing. Generally, the place is just full of people. There's some gangers like playing some music with some very
Are they using Promethean pipes as instruments?
no, they're not playing the music. They just have like a vox caster and they're just stashed
Oh.
around it, overseeing
Oh.
some people.
Okay. I thought you
Uh,
were referencing the Blue Man Group joke. If you ever seen Blue Man Group.
no, I was not.
Oh.
However, they are all like stashed around different areas, and what you notice is a lot of how do I put this? First of all, you see like disposal units with stacks and stacks of low stick packs, and others have like steams in there. There are some people who are like actively using steams right now in chems.
Mm.
You even see some of the workers appear to be using some sort of chemical or breather attached to a little canister on the back. Um, and Astra Militarum, guys, you can make me a scholar check on this one, on the chemicals that the workers are using.
Oh wow.
All right, that's good.
Decent. Yes, good.
Hmm.
So I think it's just the two. Or...
Yeah, Maximo is the other Astra Militarum guy.
Oh, was I? Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Scholar check.
Yeah.
I was in my own head thinking.
All right. So
I was hearing
in
voices.
short, Lucas gets it. Maximo doesn't. Lucas, you would know this to be I guess you could call it a combat drag called Halo, which is known to induce calmness to somebody. If they're giving this to their warriors, it's likely that they're giving this so the warriors can like remain subservient for long periods of time and likely work longer without complaint.
It's the 40k version of Xanax.
Yep.
And not the one that
Exactly.
helps you fight alien covenants and with the da 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 soundtrack going off in the background.
That's all you hear in your head when it's active. That's
I
why you're
find it-
calm.
You know what? That'd be funny. Song pops up on radio and they just turn that shit and it just, we don't listen to that type of music here. It puts on back to their diesel punk music.
I mean, it's funny because we're in a shrine world, so most
know.
stations are just ecclesiarchy stuff. So these guys have to tap into some real underground channels to get to listen to some music.
I know, our music is so underground, right? Quit it.
Yeah. And as you ascend through various catwalks and staircases, you're eventually brought to what appears to be like an overseer area, where there is basically this big balcony overseeing most of the facility area. It's quite high up, mind you. Like, you would be falling for a couple of turns before you hit the ground in typical 40k architecture.
Mm.
Yeah, like you guys basically go into an elevator to go here after you ascend all those catwalks. And the
Max-
elevator basically opens up. Sorry, go ahead.
Max will make sure his belt is tight so
enough.
he doesn't get tripped up.
And as you exit into this room, the Slim Ganger says to steps first and goes, "I brought you the people from the marquee." And you hear a voice from the back of the room. "You can leave us now, then." "Yes, boss." And she steps back into the elevator and like shoves you guys forward a bit in her own way. And as you step inside here, you see like a bunch of like big dudes, like not ogre and big, but like big dudes, stocked up on chems, like they're nearly passed out on their posts. But you know, they also have like heavy stabbers and stuff like that, so maybe don't underestimate them so easily.
Indeed.
And in the back of the room, there is like a little, less so a throne, more so a couch made of canisters and barrels melted together, and has a flag with the Aquila draped on it. And on it sits this guy in front of, I wouldn't call it a desk, but it's more so an array of guns, resources, and chems. Who has a rebreather that's made to look like it has little fire ornaments on it, on the pipes. He's wearing bright goggles and a bandana, and he's very skinny. But he is wearing this like coat, this like flak coat of plates over his torso, with little epaulets, and he has like flame patterns and designs everywhere. And on the corner of the room, you even see a little like sort of buried inside a cage that appears to be some sort of um, you know, alien avian creature, and it's eating a vermin of sorts.
I don't know
You
if this
assume?
is a canary in the coal mine metaphor, of course, or just this weird bird thing inside the Prometheum forge.
It could be. If it dies, they will surely will know to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Rise and hazard.
And there's a lot of fumes in this place, needless to say, from both the big guys and this guy, because basically he's sitting on that couch of his, and remember how I said it's made of like welded together tankers and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you notice there's like some canisters on the side that can be removed with valves, and there is pipes connecting from the back of this amalgam of furniture into his gas mask, and he appears to have a his body language betrays calmness, though those of you with a bit better attention for details, like dogs, notice the finer details, like the constant twitching of his fingers and toes.
He's on something.
And he looks at you and says, "So, the Marquis sent you, huh?"
Maxima would nod with a grunt.
That is correct.
And, why are you here, if the Marquis sent you?
Well, we require some information.
Information, huh? Like what?
A little birdie told us some enforcers took over some chem labs.
I would just half expect that he just turns to his bird thing and just, wait, you told them?
It
Is-
funny.
He scratches a little burn mark on one of his arms. And, picking the scabs basically. And then he looks at his fingers and says, "Well, I think it's very funny that you show up the time you do, asking the questions you do, and expect me to not have you killed here."
Well, we are just want to remove the enforcers because nobody's enjoying what they are doing there.
If I'm correct, and I think you may be catching on to what I'm about to tell you, but you met the Marquis about what? A little ago?
I don't know
Maybe
if
not-
Maximo should start
maybe not
speaking
even
at this
that.
moment.
I do not like where this is going, but are you going?
Yes, and
Well, it's very funny you say that because a little before you arrived, one of our informants from inside these places gave a vox to one of the higher ups in the gangs and said the Marquis' days were over.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm,
no. That's not good.
that's unfortunate.
Maximo will just shake his head in disappointment and just.
So, considering that apparently they found his body stashed away, half fallen inside one of his wardrobes, apparently. His ogre indeed, at least. I assume you guys did that.
Maximo will shake his head with a disapproving grunt.
Oh, come on, this big guy can't hurt a fly who serves the Emperor, of course. And the Marquis was serving the Emperor very well.
Uh-huh. You see him think, and as he does so, you hear on your vox bid, I'm gonna have somebody look into that. I don't like the way this thing is set up.
I still don't know if Maximo should speak or just continue his facade of grunting ogre.
Just keep it up, big man.
N-
Just keep it up, big man.
Now, above game, I would like to say, remember how you were told to wait because the Marquis was entertaining guests?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's an interesting detail, isn't it?
I
Wow.
think one of you should bring it up, considering I don't have prior knowledge of it, technically.
Oh, I'm not saying it for this scene, I'm just saying in general, that's interesting. Anyway, he looks at the lot of you and goes, so, I would choose my words very carefully if I were you.
And
Did
you
you
are
get?
Sorry.
Did you guys kill the Marquis?
Maximo will look at the gang, look at him, just and with a
Of-
disapproving wave and grunt.
Of course not. He was helping us. He was a great asset to the Emperor. Why would we do that?
Right.
But if you don't believe us, we are just going to leave. If that's fine with you, we don't want to.
Maximo
Oh,
will
come on.
wave
You
of
can't
no.
leave now. We're just getting to the fun part, where you tell me, what exactly are you doing here?
And Maximo
The
will try
light
to
eyes.
pantomime to Lucas about our what type of chemical we're specifically looking for.
Oh boy.
Are you doing a little spooky face?
Just like pointing at like dogs and just how he does this little spook thing and just
Putting your hand on your face and the scream
Mm.
from Van Gogh.
I slightly just start rubbing the side of my, slightly rub the side of my head like, this is gonna be one of those days, isn't it? I then
Maximo's trying to
Ugh,
trying
how do I
to
explain
stay
this?
in character to avoid messing things up. Not as bad as Maldoon is.
Yes. I understand the need for extreme caution. I fully I fully get it. All we
You had no idea he was dead, didn't you?
no, we did not. But as
No, that's very funny. You see, I think I know what's going on here. Somebody's out to get all of us. You are here after the Marquis is dead. They're likely trying to set you up for a trap. Because I fucking hated the Marquis.
With those
So-
words, could
so
I
I
roll an
thought-
awareness?
So I thought, you feel free. So I thought you would come here to pay his final debts, but you come here and make demands.
I guess
It's
I'll try
almost as if you
awareness too.
don't know what's been going on.
Oh.
What exactly are you rolling awareness on?
Because because the way he's talking, it seems like something feels off. Like Lucas is getting a bad feeling about this.
Seems like
It's
Lucas being
less so that-
spooked.
It's less so that and more
Yeah.
so him trying to piece his brain together enough to make sense of what's going on here. Because some people came by with the name of a guy who owed him a lot and just died, and they're making demands of him. And they don't appear to even know that the guy they're making demands on behalf of is fucking dead.
Oh boy.
It's
Now
hallucinating,
this really pushes at Maximo's limit of not of speaking. He's trying to stay in character. You can see him just visibly sweat in front of you guys. And just, what are you guys doing?
the guys behind you are already readying up to take arms, and you see this gang leader, if you see him just completely flabbergasted, kind of enjoying the comedy of the situation.
All right, a question. If I'm telling him about the drug, the spook, and telling him he kinda need to help us if he want to keep his position in this territory, would that be what kind of role?
Around the situation, I don't think anything's gonna.
Still persuasion, I'm guessing.
I guess if you're phrasing it like that he needs to help you to keep his position, that would be intimidation.
Oh my,
Oh,
That's
I'm
not
really
gonna
good
work.
at that.
Nope.
Oh boy.
Probably not doing that.
It's probably not the best idea considering what we're in right now.
Should Maximo speak?
Rather the situation, Docs will probably tap.
It probably would
Maximo,
be a
like-
good idea.
Like shoulder bump Maximo, just
Hmm.
speak.
Remember that if need be, you can always use a glory to call on to Aralin's problem-solving capabilities.
That is a
Spook.
good point.
Maximo will
Question
say,
is,
Spook. We were sent to look for Spook. And where to find.
yes, and
He goes from comedically confused to totally confused, and he's like, "Then why are you here?"
We were sent to look for Spook.
We don't have
And-
spook. What is spook?
Some weird drug that make people dream weird. Make people feel fun.
Well,
psychic
look-
funny.
We have a lot of those, but none of them psychic.
We were hoping that you have information to help find Spook.
No,
Since you are
but you did mention it then, and I might know something about that. I am getting the idea that we're all caught in some kind of joke here.
I figured much, especially when Boss was killed. or thought of killed. It's hard to tell. We didn't know until left, until you told us. So I thought he just passed out and just left it at that. And now with you telling us boss is dead,
So you mean to tell me that the Marquis told you to come here and ask a favor from me?
we was
And
not aware of any debts, no.
and then he proceeded to die?
Very bad joke if case. Sounds like other competition trying to move in on spots. Not
It doesn't
good.
sound like any competition to me. It sounds like a setup.
Hmm.
And it sounds like you guys have been set up.
Oh, then. That doesn't sound good.
But luckily for you, I did recognize something.
So you were saying
He points to you,
imposter?
Docs. You, my colorful logmatic friend. I may wear goggles, but I can recognize features, even in my state. You are a criminal.
Hmm. Okay.
What? You didn't say.
He looks towards Docs.
Remember how you guys were told that the enforcers were putting bounties on you after your first scuffle with them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, he gestures to one of the big guys, and he hobbles over with a data slate, and he goes through some stuff.
Knew I should have
See,
waited in the car.
see, this might look familiar to you. He shows you a data slate where it shows essentially sketches of the four of you in digital
Oh,
form.
boy. Fantastic.
Maximo will look at it and just
Bad drawing. Didn't good features. Not
Yes,
the
and it
same.
says wanted by the enforcers of Periandor's arrest
All right.
Great.
for betraying the Emperor's faith.
May I
Now,
intimidate the shizzle out of him?
hold on.
All right.
Now, I don't know why you're here, but it is very funny that you're here. And I'm assuming that behind those nice uniform hats and colorful attire, it would be the other three.
Hmm.
He gestures to the three of you on the images.
These are too much setups. Not good. Not good at all.
Oh, but you see, it's not setup at all. It's a blessing in disguise.
What
He
do you
throws
suggest?
away the auto pistol that he was holding all this time while negotiating with you. He gets up from his chair, walks over to you, and says, "We are going to be great friends."
What do you suggest?
I suggest the enforcers hate you.
They do. They assaulted us twice from other locations. We thought we were
Yes.
well hidden, and somehow they found it anyways. Something
And-
is following us too
And I
closely.
assume that the den you spoke of when you entered here is an old underground chem lab that the enforcers got into their hands recently.
Hmm.
That's
How do you know?
sense.
Because that chem lab belonged to one of my rivals within the gang.
So
Another boss.
competition was supplanted by enforcers. Because now enforcers doing this spook stuff. It's not good business. Bad.
Yes, and that
Oh.
chem lab was a very, very strategic point for our operations, if you know what I mean.
Does it because it enhances your promethium?
not those operations.
Oh,
Oh,
The
Maximo
other
tr-
drugs. I noticed one of them looked similar to Halo.
Exactly, we could manufacture mass volumes, and I had my eye on the place for a while. See, my idea was I was gonna take over, become one of the favorites of the gang leader. But then, before you know it, enforcers storm the place, take over, and now I can't do anything about it.
there. Hmm.
Melvin just
Maximo
slaps
was
his
considering
hand
of
together.
speaking a little more about the potential conspiracies about this place. Hmm.
Melvin just
debating.
slaps his hand together. Well, that's just fantastic.
Maximo
Yes.
just suddenly looked towards Aldun, and since you clapped your hands, I just hope it doesn't startle them.
You do hear him stop a clock
Was that a
behind you.
gunshot? Was that a gunshot? And everyone just points.
Everybody just shooting everything.
You do hear him start. You do hear him stab or just cloak around behind you.
just Maximo were just.
Please refrain from clapping. It scares them.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
The little ones get spooked too easily.
You see, Sif kind of his hand is like trembling in fascination at this news. Now
What do you
see,
say?
I can't have my gang storm the place and kill off a bunch of enforcers because that's just bad business, right?
No,
We are not your
but you
gang.
could use the most wanted criminals to clear it out and cover up your tracks, yes?
Exactly, as I smack Maximo's chest.
And
Ow.
in exchange, when you guys clear the place out, I'll
Everything
just
all
move in.
yours for the taking.
We suspect that the enforcers are also doing weird stuff. I think they're not good. Corrupt, bad even.
He puts a hand in front of his vibrator and stares at the big guys in the back, and you see two of them put their hands around their ears and other two around their eyes.
Uh-oh.
No, it's more so you're saying the enforcers are corrupt, and he's like,
Oh my.
no
Are
way!
you sure about that?
Oh boy, you stated the obvious, didn't you?
No, duh.
You know, it's kind of ironic because an Ogren said that. You know, it's kind of funny because it's kind of expected an Ogren to say something that dumb.
Yeah, the enforcers are corrupt. Wow.
Who
Really?
would have thunked? You know, couldn't Market get past a simple Ogren's loyalty?
Alright, well, if all I have to do is to tell you where the place is, that's easy enough.
Do you have plans of place or strategies?
I have something better.
Oh,
A gang entrance that we used to smuggle stuff out of the lab when things were a little bit tighter than they should be.
so secret access tunnels. Good.
However, I do have there is a bit of a problem with that.
Oh, not through the mountain.
Well, the problem, you see, is it's through an old fueling disposal area, which means you're gonna go through essentially an underground swamp of sewage and waste.
Oh, we did that before on another planet.
Which makes
Well,
us
this one is fuel
financed.
waste.
Oh. Oh.
Same
That's
difference.
not good.
We almost fought crocodiles on the other one, but they were bored.
This is gonna be worse, big man. Fuel
No.
wastes are can be highly toxic, and also they can be what's the
Flammable.
word? Yes.
Well, lucky for me, I do not burn things.
Oh, I mean, it
Big
doesn't
man,
take much.
who are you
Look.
standing right next to?
Oh, I mean, look, it does. You don't need a flamethrower to get Promethium Ignite. I mean, look, and you see him reach for his auto pistol real quick.
No, wait. Let him cook. Let him cook.
We are.
And he proceeds to aim at one of the pipes next to one of the big guys who are nearly asleep.
Time for a wake up call.
Now here's the question: would any of you try to tell him anything to stop or anything?
No, we'll
How
let him
close
burn
we are
himself.
to the thing?
Maximo will assume what he's doing.
You're not close enough where it would be an issue to you,
All right, good.
but yeah, he fires a shot. You see the bullet pierce into the pipe, and a stream of blue flame, like a gout, shoots out into the guy's face, who proceeds to get up, start crawling all over the place until he walks near the edge and falls off into the factory below, into a smelting pot.
Oh.
Well,
Yeesh.
That's
He-
one less for claim for insurance.
and then Steve just looks over the balcony and says, "Well, he overreacted."
Workplace
Oops.
incidents always happens.
And the other three are just now full attention, like whatever they were on before. Oh, that's gone now, baby. They're sober.
Just basically, boss did something. We have to pay attention this time. Where'd Jerry go?
I don't know. They saw Jerry with his head on fire jump off the balcony.
Were they conscious enough to recognize?
Yes.
them? Okay.
Yes.
I believe was shooting him.
You hear they're just, hey, that man actually owed me 20 credits. Damn.
Now, see, the worst part is some of the stuff he has on him are probably not gonna smelt well in that pot, so we're gonna have to fish them out. Oh well.
No telling that iron reinforced. I don't know that metaphor. Sorry.
Oh well.
Maximo will shrug.
So you want me to show you the old disposal unit and how to get there?
To help us help you to get our goals done to find this spook individuals, and since you said this place may have be best option, we can help each other solve situation. We find out who, what, and where, and you can have the place.
Alright.
Yes?
But before I say anything, I want your word, you four. Once all this is done, place is mine.
Maximo will look at the group of Lucas, Muldoon, and Docs.
Of course, it's all yours.
I see.
Alright.
No major issue here.
We assume no responsibility of anything happening afterwards.
Place is mine.
As long as
Yes, I
you don't
remember
produce
that.
spook. That's it. Only stipulation, please.
Alright. Then I guess it's time we secure the deal, as to say. and he extends a hand forward.
Does the
Lucas
maximum? Does
will-
maximum? Who? Who's gonna sign the deal here? Maximo's hands is large.
I will. Lucas will proceed to shake his hand.
As you shake his hand, you notice with his other hand quickly protrude with a jagged, sharp piece of metal, which he just embeds between your handshake, cutting both of your hands open with it. As he holds yours there,
Oh, very forward. Should have
and I want Lucas to roll me a toughness test.
Okay. I'm pretty good on toughness.
DNF.
Hey!
Okay, the chemicals in his blood do not affect you.
I take
So-
it like a champ.
So Lucas does not get HIV. Okay.
Yeah.
Or hepatitis.
And as he pulls away the side of metal and throws it aside, he says, "You are a tough one. You will go far."
You should see this man. He survived lots of things.
I nod in agreement. No,
He even
know what
survived
he means.
a airship crash multiple times. Every time, final survivor.
Maximo's bluffing, but also somewhat half truthing.
I'm fairly certain he could look into my eyes and see, oh yeah, I'm a survivor. I've been through hell and back.
Yeah.
No, he's not
with
looking
his
into
big
your
rock.
eyes. He's looking at your foot. He's looking at your leg.
Yep.
You could say his medally a foot.
All right. Well,
You are a step ahead.
to sum things up, he proceeds to give you the details you need, and in exchange, he reminds you again that once all of this is over, he wants the area to himself.
And I promised how it was going to be look like. So
Basically, he can have it. Just we don't claim any responsibility what happens afterwards.
Yeah,
State
here's
of
the
what
thing.
happens during that.
Here's the thing, however. While yes, you did not make any promises to how he receives it, you can imagine that, if he doesn't receive it in a certain, let's say,
Condition.
expectation of quality, yeah, in a certain condition, you might make some enemies here.
In other words, we will have to be very careful not to.
Oh no, you don't have to
destroy
be
the
anything.
place.
This is not something mandatory. It's just, if you find value in maintaining his alliance, you might want to consider not destroying the whole place.
too much.
Basically, try not to do too much destruction of property, so it allows him to have the best. Basically, objective: don't destroy his shit.
To be honest, I think
That's
it's,
secondary objective. Primary objective: clear out the enforcers.
But does he want to build up in a new empty lot there? Redesign the whole place to his own liking.
That's his own. That's his decision. We're just here to clear the enforcers to get our part of the deal.
So, as you leave this place, I assume, after you're done with your deal,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you obtain information about not just the location of the lab, which appears to be an underground area that is basically near where the fueling facilities are, but more so in a zone that has been now taken over by the enforcers, much like that other place you went to where you oversaw the deal. And you have also picked up through your information exchange that yeah, the enforcers have been taking over some areas which they're using for their own activities that nobody knows about or is allowed to ask about. But these activities are sanctioned by the planetary, uh, essentially the planetary government, which is basically the ecclesiarchs. He tells you that, so you know that now. And you also know where the facility is, as well as a fuel disposal area through which you can infiltrate the facility and get into the area without having to go into an enforcer domain.
All right. Once we get to ourselves to a safe location of ability, should we report this to Earlene and let her know that our update?
Remember, she is listening in.
Okay. Just want to make sure she actually got all that.
And for all this information he has given you, he expects you to act in his interests when you're down there. So, your secondary investigation has concluded with flying colors for now.
All because it had involved Maximo solving the situation. But it
Well,
worked
I'd
out
say
at the
it was a
end.
team effort.
Team effort.
I could intimidate him with 14
But you
dice
wouldn't-
too, so...
Your intimidation would have resulted into a battle we weren't prepared for.
Well, here's the thing, intimidation may have resulted in him telling you where it is, but now you also have a secret route and information that the enforcers have been basically mobilizing to take over areas of the shrine, areas of Periandor's rest that they have been using for their own activities, and nobody else is allowed there. And this is something the planetary ecclesiarchy has sanctioned for them to do. And knowing what you know about the allies the enforcers have maintained, it is not outside the realm of possibility to assume that, this alliance may spread a little bit further, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, basically, we have to work with criminal syndicates to help break the the corruption of this planet. How low that we had to go to actually solve a problem. Well, that's the Inquisition for you, I suppose.
Inquisition will work with anyone as long as they bring results.
As long as the goal is achieved in the most appropriate way. So it sounds like a plan. Now we just need to find a way to get in there safely without sparking off any problems and...
Well, here's the thing. You need to survey the area so you can formulate a plan of attack. So you know where it is and how to get there. Surveying the area is, another part of step one. After step one is complete, you have to get the appropriate gear to essentially dismantle the production of spook, whatever that may be, melta bombs, explosives, gas agents, whatever it may take, and then to form a plan of attack. So, I assume you all move back to your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Once there, I assume you will try to contact Ireland, as you said, to make sure she got all of it.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Who would like to initiate that?
I'll assume Lucas, but if not, I
All
guess
right.
Mac.
I don't
Yes,
know.
Luke.
Let's hear Lucas start that.
Because Usually
All right.
Lucas and Erling have much better ability to talk to each other because Erling looks at me like a semi-idiot. because
And
of,
he
well,
has
because
the
I'm
box in it.
Well, I wouldn't say a semi-idiot. She's just she's just used to you being a little bit more innocent than the others.
Yeah, that and the fact that I actually follow like chains of command, so she can actually be like, "Oh right, this is what you need to do a lot faster." Than
She's not particularly used of how Maximo just beats around the bush sometimes.
yeah.
Let me
Alright.
put it this way: you are enjoyable, but Lucas is the speedrunner.
Yep.
See, this is why Maximo was just a standard ogre warrior, not a bonehead.
Yeah.
The
Alright.
bonehead was just a recent addition because to make him capable of dealing with this job.
I open up the va sling to her, wait a couple seconds, and then proceed with slight shorthand exposition of we've come to a deal on the information. Whether or not it will come back to haunt us is a matter for another time.
Yes, I was able to overhear your conversation. I applaud Muldoon on his negotiation skills and Maximum for his forwardness with the gangers. However, from what we saw, they are an unstable bunch. I do not presume we are to maintain close contact with them. Not making enemies with them would be preferable, but if we have to hand them a pile of rubble in order for Periander to be safe, then so be it.
Well, we can, after the reorganization of the enforcers with the new corrected ones, we can use them to get rid of them later. And since with the information we have been given by this gang leader, we should be able to clear them out effectively.
That is none of our concern. Our concern is Harrow and the Spook production.
Yes. So
Everything going forward from there is planetary issues.
yes, exactly. That's what I think.
Good. In that case, allow me to provide some information I was able to gather during your little tete-a-tete.
Ooh, what have for us, boss?
Apparently, one of my insiders in the Marquis' den was able to inform me that it is unfortunately true the Marquis was reported dead moments after you left. Well, not precisely moments, but rather some 10 minutes later. Baric found that the Marquis was dead, and some people heard his laments and went upstairs to check on what was going on, where they found the poor Ogrin clutching his boss clutching the cold body of his boss, who appeared to have an, ask me if this sounds familiar to you, no apparent sign of trauma aside from profuse hemorrhage from the nostrils and ears.
So, like strangulation?
No.
So,
A psychic mental attack. Leaves no
Oh.
marks in the body, but destroys the
Aneurysm.
brain. Yes. Just like what he did to Blackwood.
You mean the David?
To David, yes.
so you're saying Harrow is a lot more ingrained in everything around us, too deep. This does not bode well.
I don't suppose Harrow himself would have a hand in the Marquis' death.
But even
But-
if low-level spook, Muldoon should have detected, yes?
Not
Maybe they are
necessarily.
testing out the new psychers.
But even you should have detected, yes? Did you not feel anything?
That doesn't just come like that. I need to concentrate on it, sadly.
Yes.
Oh, I thought psychers
That
actually
act,
know where other psychers are unless they try to hide. Maybe.
Think of it like a form of communication rather than a sense, Maximo.
Oh,
Still,
Like an aspects.
Marquis's death as soon as we leave that place is very coincidental.
I don't think it's coincidental. I think it was planned.
My greater question is, why would the Marquis point you to people that clearly despised him and tell you to use his name as an enter code? That seems a little bit not your average friendly interaction with him. It sounds like he was setting you up.
Maybe it was not even the Marquis, but somebody disguising himself as a Marquis.
Or possibly someone psychically using the Marquis to give us this information.
I have a much simpler theory. Perhaps he was coerced into doing so.
Hmm. Have you figured by who?
Well, who is obvious, one of our enemies. But the specifics would be impossible to calculate.
But how could they know?
Eyes and ears everywhere. If they've had enough time to ingrain themselves within society, it wouldn't take too much effort for them to have a spy or two across the board, even in criminal organizations. Once we step in, all they need to do is just send a signal and start cleaning up loose ends.
Above game, would Spook could like, if the host is not capable to dealing with the psychic powers, just pop they had?
Large enough dosage, but large enough dosage. Dude would have to be huffing spook like his life depended on it.
Let's see.
He
Yeah,
would
you have
most
to
likely go
overdose on
into a
it.
coma before he reached that point.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, you have to overdose on that stuff before you actually bottom out.
Yeah.
Which is kind of self-ironic.
Essential would have to be too much too fast.
Hmm.
Now, however, Arlen continues. Now, it does occur to me that while we do have a route, we're still lacking, well, reconnaissance data of the facility, which was the other part of step one. Since we still have a fair bit of daylight to burn, from what it seems, I would advise you utilize the momentum of these events before anybody can catch wind of your deal.
Hmm. So act fast.
Yes. With how things are going, it is already a foregone conclusion that our enemies will know we know where they are.
And then they will set up something to block us and possibly set up traps.
Yes, but since we're going through an unlikely passage, I am willing to bet that they will not be prepared for that. At least not for now. So maybe we should make use of that.
Hmm. Should I already have good close quarters weapons? Hmm.
Remember that we merely wish to survey the area. We do not need to demolish it just yet.
Yeah. Maximo will take a look at his bonking stick, his industrial bludgeon. And just nod at that.
It would work. Hmm. how we are to observe this place? Are we going to use picked casters? Or
Well, I did give you those additional comalities, if you remember. I just need you to plant one of those, well, a few of those into the facility. And, Docs, are you still in possession of the malignant machine spirit I gave you?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, the little thumb drive
Yeah.
almost looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I would like you to insert it in the facility. It will do our job for us.
Understood.
Well, with that, I guess I sanction you to go to the area and, well, insert our surveillance devices.
sounds like a plan, boss.
Indeed.
Lucas, hit the gas.
This isn't the Dukes of Hazard, you know.
That was a funny movie, though.
So, Lucas, you may roll me a pilot test as per usual. We'll just assume the two extra icons on your. Okay. We'll just assume the two extra icons from
Dogs.
Docs.
Yep.
So a 3, yeah, it's good enough that you get there in semi-decent time. It takes you a while to find the place, going off by the descriptions of an adult gang leader.
Yep.
And you found an area where basically you see essentially a disposal unit, just a massive dump basically that leads into the sewers of well, the waste disposal of this shrine. And you see like facility workers who are dumping like mass amounts of waste fuel and spent canisters down the drain basically.
Alright.
And you are dressed as uniform workers with a member of the Mechanicus with you, so I will remind you of that in case you wonder how you're gonna get near.
Well, it didn't help us the last time when I was playing with that little. But okay, we'll figure it out. We just have to stay away from the enforcers. They are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if we could forge anything to give us.
They're just
more
like the stealth
stuff,
mechanic in Baldur's Gate or Divinity 2. Just stay out the red cones and you'll be safe.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you do have to interact with enforcers, it doesn't mean they will immediately recognize you, or that you can just fool them into letting you in anyway. It's an RPG, guys. Anyway,
And it's a stealth mission if everybody is dead, so you know.
we're not here to kill everyone today.
Well, then it will
So,
be stealth.
I assume you guys are going to just essentially walk up to the waste disposal facility and just essentially jump into the sewers.
We're gonna make it look like it's a sanctioned action by using the entrance appropriately. I think. Maybe should no yes.
Maybe
Or should we
forge
sneak in?
documentation to state that we are here to do inspection and maintenance in the sewage tunnels, maybe?
Would you like to try and find a member of your cult so you can use your intelligence for these kinds of checks?
I think this would bode very well for his particular skills
maybe.
for docs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So, Doc, if you would like to try and locate a member of your faction, you may roll me an awareness.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh.
Hmm.
Should I re-roll that?
The complication is unfortunate, but I will tell you what happens if you succeed.
You can
Now,
always
whether
use
or
a
not
wrath
you
point
wish
to
to
get
roll
more.
that,
Yeah, I suggest a wrath point for that.
Yeah.
And we also have glory, so you can add to that too. We have plenty of glory.
Okay, so I'll do a wrath point to re-roll it. So I'll just plop it on the table there.
Perfect.
And add with glory?
Mm,
I,
I don't. We don't need to
I
use
w-
glory now for now, but just reminding everyone that we have it.
Okay.
yeah.
So
If you already declared the roll, you can't add glory after you rolled it. Oh, 6. That's nice.
6 in the complication would be better. And just like, why is a Metallicus Mechanicus here? Only Graya
No,
is.
no. I'll tell you exactly what happens once he gets there. So, let me put it this way. Hmm. So, hmm. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I will use the opportunity of using a bio break right quick while you think of a good solution.
I don't know. I have the solution. It's just
Well,
all right.
Let me use the restroom right quick.
Huh?
The dude is just really enjoying toasters. That's the
So,
complication.
Poster Vana.
while you find a member of your faction, docs, dressed in the typical robes appropriate to this sector of the galaxy for your faction, which in this case would be one moment.
and I'm dressed up as a janitor with these guys.
What?
Am I not dressed? Am I wearing disguise right now? Or am I just wearing my robes and such?
You are wearing your robes,
Oh.
and I guess the nearest forge world to this part of the galaxy, I think, is Lucius, but doesn't really matter because that's another one of those that wear red robes, so we should be fine. You find an individual with red robes and a severe augmentation bearing the symbols of the cult Mechanicus, and you approach him as you try to search through the libraries of information inside your head to find what would be the appropriate role that you'd have to address this individual as. And for some reason, due to a small, let's say, miscalculation in your hurry and the whole procedure of you trying to hide things up and get things done, you approach him, and I'm gonna send you the type of Mechanicus you think he's, and I expect to hear your greeting.
Oh no.
Sup, brother?
Sup, broski?
You find him basically overseeing the servitors who are moving all of this waste, basically, and making sure the machines are operating correctly.
Greetings, fellow technophile.
And here's the thing.
What you call me?
Muldoon, Lucas, and Maximo,
Oh.
you would know this as the only type of tech boys you ever interacted with. The people who are in charge of maintaining most equipment in the galaxy, the engine seers.
Ah,
So
the
essentially, you find an engine seer who is stationed overseeing some servitors and machinery, and then, you know, Dox walks up to him. And how do you greet him?
Hmm.
Remember, it's a brotherhood of monks type deal.
Greetings. I require assistance in this area, transmechanic.
Well, you call him a trans mechanic. He turns around. And all of you can see, like, his one remaining eyebrow kind of twitch. I pardon your language, brother. I am an engine seer.
Apologies. I have been having issues with error.
I suggest you perform a firmware maintenance on your cosmetics, brother. Until then, tell me how I would be of assistance to you and why have you approached me while I'm laboring for the Omnisaya.
We wish to gain access to the sewage draining area for inspection and maintenance.
I have been charged with the maintenance of this here domain. You approach me and misannounce my title, and then you assume to to challenge my work here, brother.
I do not wish to challenge you on your domicile here. I only wish to investigate on a certain situation. Will you
He
allow us to investigate in the sewage systems?
he leans close and says, I do not see what strategical value the shrine sewers hold to a Lex mechanic.
Roll for bullshit.
I'm not good with deception.
Well, you can give them a plain tale of
And we have like 4
there's
glories,
potential
so, you know.
compromises inside the sewage that may result
Well,
in
let
extra.
him talk, and we can discuss, and we can decide what he has to roll afterwards.
I'm trying to telepathically tell Docs about this.
Telepathically.
Yeah.
You can feel it in your bones.
I hate you so much.
I love it. It was a good short.
Hmm. How do I think about this? Thinking of. Don't want to give too much away but
Could potentially use a cunning test as a hint. I don't know if the DM will allow it.
a lot of these things I'm not good with.
I can.
They're all fellowship, and I got nothing.
Can we?
Remember
Or
that you can use intelligence to fellowship when interacting with other mechanicus.
Yeah.
right.
You have your intelligence of currency. Technically, your mechanicus trait.
You're a smart cog.
You can basically, well, you can make a acquisition test using intelligence of fellowship. So you could acquisition access essentially from
Yeah.
him. Essentially pull rank like, I'm a Lex mechanic.
Yeah, I'll try that and stuff. So
Alright. It is time. Okay, for the sake of this, can we do a favor?
To avoid further embarrassment.
I will ease the roll if you agree that the following transaction happens in binoric. So all the others can hear is the two of you dooting at each other,
Mechanically
essentially.
screeching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do we need this roll?
You kind of need him to allow you access, or you have to sneak there.
How many dice are you rolling?
We wouldn't want to have a fight a servitor in the middle of a fuel dump.
We'll see about dice and stuff in a second, Crazy. Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Alright,
just
let him
kinda
cook.
figured that. So, what we're trying to roll again? For
You are basically, essentially, to put it this way, both of you are standing in front of each other, and you're asking him to enter the area where he performs maintenance, and he responds to you that he doesn't see what a Lex mechanic would find of strategical value in the sewers, basically. And now you're doing the mechanicus equivalent of just bumping chests, essentially. Because you came in here, called him by the wrong role, then you told him, yeah, no, you're the guy who makes sure that these runs, but I need to inspect to make sure all these runs.
I will also say that Luna Moon may not be fully acquainted with the whole Mechanicus lore, so.
Oh yeah, but this is gonna be
Yeah.
very funny. Essentially, binoric sounds like Morse code. So you're about to start dooting at each other. So tell me,
I thought it was
what
just
do
more
you...
TV static.
Oh, if you play Deathwing, you will hear it. They speak in Morse.
Yep.
Yeah. I hear it from an audiobook called Iron Devil, which is humans versus a Gorgonaut. No,
Fair
Morgonaut.
enough. So,
It's a good
Docs,
audiobook.
how do you respond to him asking you what strategical value does a sewer have? You mind whatever you say is things only you and he can understand from here onwards.
trying to think how to word this. Probably from above table. Like, why are you asking me for why I want to know the value of the sewer? I'm just here to inspect it and possibly see if there's any.
I mean, just ask him that, yeah.
Reports of compromise, but I always want to let you aware. I don't know.
Yeah. I am here to inspect the sewer to make sure there is no compromising of strategical needs for the sewer and possibly of seeing if there's any
Potential.
issues from outside forces or I think something kind of like that, but I'm not.
Gang activity.
Don't be so doubtful of yourself, guys. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Okay, he looks at you and says, "You would think that I have let my domain come under substantive requirements of scrutiny. You would think that my domain is compromised and that enemies may be lurking underneath my very eyes."
Yes.
On my other recent investigations around this world, I have to be sure that everything is not compromised. It is my duty.
And what would those investigations entail, perchance? Are you saying that there are areas of this planet that have been compromised? Furthermore, this system.
Only light chances, but I cannot discuss in detail of them.
Fine. Do you suppose that the possibilities of tech heresy are abound?
So far, I have not seen any or noticed any, but still, I want to make sure the possibilities of it is not true.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do now.
Ooh, sounds fun.
You are going to make me let's see here. Yeah, you're gonna roll me an influence test. You may take as much glory as you want with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I got 3 influence.
Well, as much they allow, of course.
Yeah.
I'm
It
okay
has
with
an
it.
influence of 3.
Doesn't his intelligence score add to it too because of his stats?
Yeah, that's with the intelligence score being. No, it doesn't add supplements.
Oh,
Actually, was there? Let me take a look.
Yeah, it's his
use
intelligence score
or
-1.
fellowship when calculating influence. Oh,
Hold on.
Hmm.
There should also be the character. There should also be an archetype relevant one.
yeah, there should be his Lex mechanic, but also Mechanicus tag.
Well, the mechanical stuff I
yeah,
have calculated.
This keyword may be used in intelligence.
Also, do you guys have gotten extra influence from something?
Yeah, the bosses. Because if you remember, the tagging system is supposed to give you additional. As long as you have similar tags, it gives you bonuses in certain areas.
No, it doesn't give you bonus. It allows you to supplement fellowship for intellect.
Yeah.
I think we got bonus from our side mission or something recently, but I think we just got grenades from that.
Well, see, remember Maximo's influence itself is a influence of 3 due to the bonus.
Oh, you do have a +1 bonus as well from being a Lex mechanic in general.
So just add.
Yeah, just add to your mods.
Ah, okay.
Alright, so
So technically,
you
Doc
may
should be
feel
in the green.
you may feel free to roll. You can add bonus die from glory as well as wealth, which in this case it would be
Wealth of information.
you exchanging information with him in exchange for him to allow you access.
So how many basic influence?
So we got
If he
4.
doesn't add any bonus, 4 dice.
I would like, if you want to,
Give
you
him
can
2.
take like 2.
2 glory.
Yeah.
2 glory.
2 glory.
I'm kind of thinking that. So 2 bonus die just in case.
Yeah. Would you like to add any bonus from wealth?
Yeah, like my wealth doesn't go down with that, would it? Or
If you
It
succeed,
will.
it does.
if exceed, it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I did say I wasn't going to give him too much information about this situation, but
Well, you can always give them the promise of confidentiality because Mechanicus are great in their
Yeah.
promises. Unless
Yeah,
you
why
get the
not?
really
I'll-
weird ones.
yeah, I'll do
Well, you
one.
don't have to give him necessary information about this. You could just give him like general
general
data on
information.
other things.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'll
let
do
them
one
know
more for
that
the
don't
wealth.
install firmware 4.16.30b because it has a weird scrap code glitch inside the third file. And just
Okay.
I
Alright.
was about to update that.
Roll
Oh.
influence.
Praise the Omnissiah. 6 in a complication. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll
just
tell you what
some
happens.
awareness there.
You lose the 1 wealth,
All right, so that goes down.
and the. So here's what happens. He looks at you and says, well, you may feel free to go and survey the area, but I can assure you will find no substandard or heretical use of machinery within my domain.
All I ask is to be able to inspect the area, and that is all. Thank you for your cooperation.
Fine. But in exchange, you will have to report back to me on your findings when you return.
It's not like I accept you, baka.
Understood.
Good. I'm glad we have an understanding.
Sundari tech priest.
Oh.
It's not like I'll let you
And-
end or something, baka.
And then he speaks normal again and looks the rest of you and goes, proceed with it. Proceed. I shall show you an entrance to the underneath. And he begins like walking begrudgingly with his Omnisci axe. You can tell he
Maxwell-
doesn't like you. But you're opposed to mechanicals, you don't have to like each other.
Well, at least Maximo is carrying his Mechanicus certified industrial bludgeon, which is a giant monkey wrench.
At that size, I think it's more of a gorilla wrench.
Yeah. Basically Ogren style gorilla wrench. Gorilla wrench Mark III.
Yeah, so you walk for a while into the facility, and then he takes you to a hatch, and he unlatches it with his multi-tool, and then he holds it open with one of his automatic arms and says, "This here is a service entrance for the waste disposal area underneath. You may use this to survey the area."
Understood.
He like completely keeps his eye on you as you enter. Like so you can tell the thought of just shoving him down the staircase crossed his mind as he watches Doc enter.
Maximo is going to attempt to thank the engineer by trying to do a thank you and cogwheel type deal.
Please no.
Roll me a fellowship.
Please
Fellowship.
no.
Yay.
Yes.
Two.
God damn it.
No, I mean
Of course it fails.
Maximo fails. He doesn't even notice.
You try
He
to do a
just-
cog and you just walk by him doing a circle with your hands and smiling.
it's a rudimentary heart symbol, but Ogren can't figure out how to make heart. he just
You're just doing a
blows it off
heart.
and just
You're
the
just doing a
typical
heart
Ogren
instead.
behavior.
Yeah. And as you all enter, Docs, the rest of you just hear a small Morse code, basically. Docs, you hear him as he walks away going, nerd. And it's funny because Docs is a Lex mechanic, which are the probability calculators of the Mechanicus.
I guess he didn't calculate that correctly, didn't he? Well, I guess we have to count on that, I suppose.
Man, what a geek.
What a
I
dork.
may have to do more maintenance on myself once we get back. But for now, let's investigate here.
You can tell that Docs is the tech enthusiast and the other guy is the programmer. Because the other guy has a servitor from 2006, and if he makes a weird noise, he's gonna hit with the Omnisci axe.
So he's one of those vintage PCs owners, huh? I see.
Yep.
You
Get
know,
with the times, old man. Get yourself an iPhone 7.
a part of me was excited to see docs fail, and this devolve into a shouting match in binary.
You mean a debate, as they call it?
Yes. Ah, yes. Martian politics at its finest.
We screech when we debate.
Just both of them hoisting their staff above their heads and screeching at each other.
And we are just walking. The other three.
Basically, Docs 404, this nerd, communicate with each other, and we just sneak on by and just, I don't care, and just walks away and just, are you guys in? Yep.
Yeah.
Good. I'll meet you on the other side.
Looks back, like, where did they go?
My friends abandoned
Wow.
me again.
They'd not even stay here to see me prove my point.
I'll go back in the truck.
I'm
I
just
can't
gonna keep
even
on
tell how
tracking.
just ugh, how sad I sound.
Sad beeping noises. But we're on the sewer
I
now.
cannot emote correctly.
It's always funny when mechanicals get to interact with each other in anything. It's either the most wholesome interaction or a shouting match that nobody else can understand.
Yes. It's like dealing with Korean grandparents.
I'm surprised you have experience with that.
Friends.
Ah.
I see. Anyway, you delve into the sewers, well, into the waste disposal anyway. And as you make your way through, I would like everybody to roll me a toughness test.
Of course.
Hey, Maximo's good at that. Do I get a bonus because I'm wearing the mask?
It won't be a difficult one, but it's mostly to avoid any.
I think Maximo is takes it in stride and just I dealt with worse.
All right,
Remember, Maximo
everybody
remembers that
passes.
at his one of his pageants they tried to dumping promethium all over him and just I had worse.
How dark is there?
Don't think I
Uh,
count for my objective, maybe?
Wow.
what was your objective? Sorry.
Complete a social interaction without revealing your identity.
I guess yes, you did. You did have a. You had a shouting match with
complete.
Have you know? I'm the IT of. I mean, I can't.
Here's the thing. At any point, you could have just went. I'm Inquisition, motherfucker. And just won the argument. The challenge is to not do that. So yeah, feel free to grab another wrath. And as you make a way through, through your waste disposal, to answer Muldoon's question, it is dark, but you also have dogs providing you with light.
Fine, we live another day.
My eyes glow in the
Please
dark.
don't light a cigarette in the petrol waste.
Not yet.
All I can imagine is just at some point Lucas turns around and sees you like snapping your fingers trying to create fire.
My LED eyes will show everything.
Just humming some music in his head and just snapping his fingers, sparks everywhere every time he snaps.
Maximo says, I've smelt worse. This is not as bad as when I had to fight for my life a week or two ago.
Referring back to that event when we had the spy on, and I had to use the restroom.
Oh.
He's saying
Thank
that
God
this
you
place
fixed
doesn't
the
smell
toilet
as
before
bad.
use.
That was a few days ago.
A few days ago? Alright.
Yeah.
So, retracting the statement a few days ago, where he had to fight for his life, so this promethium stuff is not as stinky as that. Since I rolled a 10 on a...
As the Herald of
toughness.
Plague, you had to fight there.
Mm-hmm. I just had
Anyway,
an exorcism.
as you make your way through the waste disposal, you follow the maps, the directions provided to you by Sif, all of you manage to avoid getting anything too dangerous on you, and you stay relatively as much out of the waste as you can, wherever you can. There are certain areas where some of you are basically just, hey Maximo, can you hoist us over this gap here?
Maximo will.
And yeah, Maximo just picks you one by one and just hoists you over to the other heads.
Yeah, Maximo can carry all of you. He has a strength of 6. Even if I have to roll an extra athletics just to make it work.
And eventually you come to basically to a drain pipe that has it's off to a side and a little bit of an elevation, clearly not meant to be used unless the place is flooding a little.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the direction says you should just, basically lift the grate and you're here.
Sounds
So,
like someone's coughing in the distance.
yeah, sorry about that. Can't do much about it.
Well, I guess it's the Promethean fumes getting to you, GM.
Yeah, when you live with people. Anyway, so, and as you all do that, and you lift up the grate to check on the facility, you see a catwalk underneath you, which he did tell you you're gonna have to descend on a catwalk, and then you should be able to see the lab ahead of you. And you do see what appears to be a welded together, kinda made by actual servitors, kinda made by construction units, kinda makeshift catwalk as you exit the
rudimentary.
grate. Yeah,
Does it have ears?
no, it doesn't have cat ears.
Yeah.
Probably
And I
should-
assume you all descend on the catwalk, right?
As cautiously as
Slowly and
possible.
carefully, yes.
Wonder if I
Yeah,
check
it's
the
away from the
stability
lights.
of it.
Do we have to
Sorry,
roll
what?
stealth on this?
Not
I
yet.
don't check the stability of the catwalk and such. Like,
And that's why we should maximum first.
Cannonball. No, he's not
It
doing
doesn't
that.
seem to break under Maximus weight.
Fine, yeah, good then.
So it cannot support my weight.
What?
So it can't support my weight.
I said doesn't seem to break.
Oh, it doesn't seem to
Oh.
break.
Yeah.
Okay, I misheard you.
Alright, good.
But
And
does
as
it
you all-
squeak?
A little.
Maximo's gonna have to be very careful.
You step on it, you hear the first squeak, and you just nod and it starts moving slowly.
So it's a mouse walk, not a catwalk. Because it
Is there,
squeaks.
are there places I can grip on to help reduce my weight profile?
There are rails to the side, but you don't know how much they're gonna hold you if anything happens.
Okay. Is
And I
there a
assume you
chest-
all step. And I assume you all step into the catwalk.
I guess, yeah.
Sure.
All right. You see, there's areas it leads to down the way that can get you around this area. But you see, as you descend to this place where there's a lot of makeshift hubs and stuff, right? There is a large hub in the middle with a lot of pipes that appear to be sending fumes out. And these are colorful fumes, mind you. Like they have sort of bismuth colors. This smog that's exhuming from this area. And you hear the sounds of commotion. and you notice that around the specific hub zone where there's the smoke and the fumes, there is a lot of enforcers going about, holding what appears to be shotguns and grenades.
All the fun thing.
Well, you know, shock grenades.
Oh no, not those.
So you see all that, and you see the color of the bismuth smoke rising from the pipes. You're fairly certain that this hub zone is the facility you were told about. It is fairly big, about as big as you would expect a ganger lair to be. And while the catwalk will allow you to go to the ground level without being spotted, you realize that entering the actual hub block will be a challenge of its own. A challenge better left for next time, as we appear to be on time now.
Yep, getting close.
This place seems more defense than we really previously imagined. Things will be complicated.
Right. And with that, is there anybody else who would like to say anything before we close up? Like in character?
Not really.
That's it on this edition of Hellfighters Z.
Just sudden cut off.
Hellfighters 2024 edition.
I just like Luke was about to say something and just suddenly cuts off with the ending title.
Put a
Look
finger
at-
up, open his mouth, and we are cut off.
You know how some people hold their chin? He's just holding his gas mask filter like that. And then he lifts a finger and that's where it ends. But yeah,
Out of budget.
because we appear to be on time for our closing, I would like to take us once more around the horn before anything else.
Toot toot.
Because, yes, indeed, because you all once again gave me an amazing session, and there was a lot of laughter, and that's the best part about doing this. So, how about we go around the horn this time with Maximo?
Pick up my outro script from While You Miserable. No, that's the wrong one.
No.
Thank you for all showing and watching this episode of Hellfighters. We do thank you and all that. Yes, I'm also known as Big Mek Plays, who also is a Big Mek Orc VTuber on my channel of Big Mek Plays on YouTube, X, and Twitch. So give a check there and give a follow on all. As you remember, I play Maximo, the Ogren Warrior, both smart and dumb at the same time.
All right, thank you very much. And next up, we would have Lucas Viker.
Greetings, I am Art of War, playing the ever trustworthy words, fun, Lucas Vicar. Hopefully we get to eventually put a bullet in Haru's head, because I really, really want to. I really do.
Excellent, excellent. Muldoon.
Hello, I was Crazy Pet, playing as Muldoon, who is going to incinerate our lovely Harrow, and broke our dear Lucas's dreams about it, to put a goddamn bullet in his head, and just for spite.
You can put a bullet in his head after he's caught on fire.
If he has a head.
We'll make one up if we have to.
Just put the pumpkin on it. It will be fine.
Oh no, the headless harrow.
Oh no.
Next up, Docs 404, our diplomat for the session.
I think the
Everyone,
diplomacy
well,
actually
intensifies.
goes towards Docs and Muldoon today.
Hold on, just
Hey
Please.
everyone, this is Dr. Lulu, and I play as Docs 404, and yeah, sorry everyone if I don't know too much about lore and tech mechanics and stuff, so.
oh, don't worry.
It's fun.
That's partially what makes it more fun.
Yeah.
And I have been Sir Reaper, your host of Malignant Horrors from the Warp, and also storyteller for this little campaign. And yeah, another very socially heavy session, no combat or anything. As the
Ooh,
as the agents at this point have to be a lot more on the information gathering and sneaking part of the business.
boo,
But I'm sure that we will get enough action soon enough.
boo. Oh no, that's good. Action is good. Not boo.
And we're looking forward to seeing you all on the 9th of February for our next session. We hope you all had fun. And any closing words?
Well, I will say, make sure your laundry is done because you have a fresh week ahead of you. And also, clean up your tools. They're in the way. You might trip on something.
Good advice as always, Maximo.
Gotta keep your mechanicus happy by keeping your tools put away. Right, Docs?
Yes. I almost stubbed my toe on that, so good thing you did that.
Look at Lucas. He lost a foot. We wouldn't want that to happen of him kicking a hammer. That was bad.
Yeah, his foot hit against the hammer.
Worst case of stubbing your toe.
I will never hear the end of these stupid jokes.
And with that happy note, see us away, Maximo.
Alright, have yourself a wonderful night and have fun. Poor guts
Hit
out.
the warp drives.